What is up? What is up, everybody? Great Sunday morning. All right. Hope everyone's having a great week, a great start to the week, and I hope we're all ready to rock. Hope we're ready to kill this week, make a whole bunch of money, guys, because today we got a good one. Today we're going to be talking about first, always like to start this off with mindset. Okay. And the first thing I really want to talk about in mindset is thinking big. And the second thing I really want to break down in this strategy session is a content distribution software that I've lately been using that has been killing the game for me. It's absolutely amazing. And it uses AI to break apart your clips, break apart your videos. Like, let's say I'm having a strategy session right now, we're recording it, and in this strategy session that I have, I'm gonna have like individual little highlights of this, individual little alpha segments, in which case I'm providing a lot of value. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this software, I'm gonna take my strategy session, put it into a software called Opus Clips, and it's gonna break it apart into little segments for me to then post it onto social media, onto like Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, I repeat Facebook twice, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, different things like that. And that in conjunction with our CRM's marketing content planner, that overall just makes it just viral, makes it perfect. Okay. So the first things first, let's talk a little bit about mindset. One important thing that I really wanted to talk about here is the importance of thinking big. And I'm not really saying that because I'm reading a book about that right now, but one thing really stuck out to me. Let me see if I can find this again on the page. It's pulling up. Okay. And it's talking about how this person changed their entire life, and I see this in myself as well too many times as I grew up, is that this person, he was going over to a what you call it, a job recruiting event, in which case he's like an engineer. He wanted to get a better job because he felt as though all his friends moved out of Detroit, and his friends moved out of Detroit, so can he. But there's something that is missing. Maybe it's a more higher paying job. He needs to make more money to be able to do so. So he goes to this job recruiting, and the night before he's in this hotel, and he's just thinking like, what's wrong with me? What am I missing? Yeah, I'm gonna go to this job recruiting, but really it's not gonna make too much of a difference. It might be an extra $1,000 a year, but over a year period, that's really not a lot of money, you know. So he's thinking about what he was doing wrong, how he could fix his situation, how he can get into his family into a better home, hopefully out of the hood, because that's where he was living. And what he decided to do is he decided to get a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper, he wrote down all the people that are ahead of him, and he was able to think of 5 to 10 people, all the 5 to 10 people that are ahead of him that moved out of Detroit, got a nice house, probably has a nice car, nice, beautiful family, loving family, but they're ahead of him, And so he wrote down those 5 to 10 people, and what he did next was he tried to figure out, okay, what exactly am I missing? Like, what's different between me and those 5 to 10 people? And he wrote those down as well too. And he found that it wasn't too much different because all the intellect, the wisdom he has was the same between the other 5 people. The ages weren't too different, you know. Um, the family situation wasn't really too different, wife and kids. Other families had more kids, other families had less kids. Um, what I'm trying to say is that most of it wasn't really too different. But the one thing that was different between him and those 5, 10 other people that were more successful as him was the fact that those 5 to 10 people, they were action takers, and they thought bigger than him. In which case, you're a direct reflection on what you're thinking of yourself. You are what you believe. Manners make a man. And the one part I really need to get out here is that this person always thought small. He always thought that he's gonna have this little dead end job, 9 to 5 job, making the same amount of money year and year and year. And he really didn't think any other possibility could arise, any other opportunity could arise for him to kind of succeed more, move out of Detroit, you know. And then when he finally took the time to really understand like what was the difference between a successful person and him, he noticed that the one thing that was really different was the fact that these people took more action than he did. You know, these people took more action than he did, and these people thought bigger. So these people had bigger jobs than him because they had think bigger, and they actually were able to take action, go on this job recruiting thing way before he was able to do it. And so what he did is that after realizing this, he suddenly got some more confidence in himself. He's like, yeah, I'm hyped up. Let's just rock. If this job recruiting thing doesn't work, I'm gonna start my own business, whatever. All in his confidence. He goes to this job recruiting thing, and instead of requesting an extra $1,000 a year, he requested an extra $3,500 a month. Okay, and then what he did is in the actual job, he was like, all right, this is half getting paid on salary, half getting paid on commission. You know, I need to become a millionaire. I need to make as much money as possible. I need to become rich. I need to become wealthy. I need to be able to retire my family, retire my parents, and also make sure my family lives a good life. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna go home. I'm not gonna. I know I love my mom, my wife, my kids, and all, but I'm not gonna go home. I'm gonna be working 12 hours days, for the next year until my family's in a new house and moves out of Detroit. So what he did is he sacrificed obviously all the love that he has with his family to be able to hang out with them. But what he really did was he committed. He really, really committed into this job position because it was a sales position, which is a lot of his commission. And what he did is he doubled the amount of time he was working. He was able to double the performance and sales that everybody else is in comparison to him. And overall, he was just double as committed as everybody else in that position. So what ended up happening, because he was so committed, is he was so like, right, I gotta do this. I gotta finally become rich. Within the next, I don't remember exactly what the book said, but within the next 9 months, the guy made like $1 million and finally able to move his family out of Detroit. So I'm trying to get out of this is by thinking a little bit bigger, by being more incentivized, taking more action. I find a lot of people, they're afraid of taking action. They're afraid that, or they don't believe themselves that they're worthy of success, is usually what I see, because we all know what you need to do to become more successful ultimately. Obviously you can hire it out, watch a couple YouTube videos, talk to some mentors, talk to people that are more successful than you, but people lack the belief in themselves to reach out to that mentor, to send make an extra 10 calls that day, email another 10 people. People lack that motivation, or maybe they lack it, maybe they don't. I actually believe they don't believe they deserve the success themselves. But what I'm trying to say is that we as individuals, especially if we're starting a business or growing a business or trying to scale this business, we need to really think more big, and we need to think more highly of ourselves. One of my rules I have in and that I learned from our mentors is that if you want to be a king, act like a king, you know. So in order to really, if you want to live this $1 million lifestyle, want to live this $1 billion lifestyle, act as if you already have it. And I know this sounds kind of weird, but every single mentor has told me that, and it's always led to success. You know, in this case over here, with this example, this guy started acting as if he was a $1 million closer. He's doing double the amount of hours, taking double the amount of calls, double the performance, everything. He was acting as he was a high performer, and his revenue showed that. So, what I'm trying to get out of this mindset Sunday, this Sunday strategy session mindset portion of it, I'm losing my words here, is that in order to really just to grow more successful, regardless if it's financially, spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever it is. The first thing that you got to really start out with is in your mind, is in your mindset. And you're not going to become successful if you don't think you're successful, or if you're not taking action, if you're not taking upon those opportunities given to you. All right. So that's kind of like my first portion I really want to get out in this mindset session here. And I hope that resonated with you. And I hope that kind of encouraged you all to just believe in yourself a little bit more, because in life you put, the chances of just being alive are 1 in a trillion, but realistically, you can't even quantify, you can't even put a number on that, because the universe is ever expanding, at least from what we know. And so how you can't really put an understanding of what the chances of being alive. But what I'm trying to say is that chances of being alive are very slim. Not a lot of people, not a lot of people get the chances, not a lot of spirits get a chance of just being on this planet. So might as well make the best of it. You have this one opportunity.
Preaching on a Sunday, my guy. You're preaching on a Sunday.
Exactly. One opportunity, one chance to make this great. Make it the best. All right. So I'm trying to get out of here. believe in yourself and make it the best. And that's enough of my preaching there, Monica. But yeah, so now that I dropped that preaching bomb right there, and you guys, next portion I really want to talk about here is this AI software that I've been using, and I'm going to be using for this video because I use it for everything else. And one of my strategies, before I actually even get into this, how the software works, is one of my strategies is quite literally just to put as much content, value-based content out there as possible. I found that the best way to really get a whole bunch of more clients, and I've talked about this before in the past, is to really show off trust to people. And the best way to really show trust is by showing value, because the only thing that resonates in people's mind that don't really want to pay attention to you, that are probably just scrolling aimlessly through TikTok for the next dopamine hit, is value. So if you're able to convince somebody that more than them, they're probably going to listen.